I make bold to categorically, unequivocally say that what I just read as a document that emanated from the pit of hell is not only puerile, it's a genuine, it's arrant nonsense, and it is fake. I could not have congratulated a government that is in ICU, not as Tony Okocha, worst case as chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Rivers State. And by that very fact, the leader of the opposition political parties and leader or the voice of the voiceless in Rivers State. I couldn't have done so. Not even at the point that I was going to breathe my last. I couldn't have done so. So this document should be thrown to the trash can and seen, in fact, as a concoctment of obvious of wickedness, whose intention is an attempt to malign my name by showing me off as one who speak from both sides of my mouth. That is not my character trait. So I would just dismiss that document as useless, puerile. I said, it's a tripe, it's a genuine. Please add your own diction, and you'll get what I mean. Now, the reason I called you, I know that a lot of you have called me whilst I was away at the behest of the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, who is, as we speak, is still commissioning projects. And those projects are high-profile projects. The president took out his time for 3 days consecutively to flag off or commission landmark projects executed by the FCT ministry in Abuja under his Honorable Minister, Chief Wike. There I had received calls from a whole lot of you, and even from my friends outside your jurisdiction, requesting or demanding rather to know my take on the issue, vogue issue I call, of 365 days in office, which every other administration, including Mr. President, was celebrating. And I refuse to say a word. But you and I know that I'm usually not reticent. I'm not taciturn on issues like this, because they are issues that are vogue. Apart from that, they are issues that are vogue. They are also issues, that will require critical analysis. So I have called you so that you hear my own side, my take on the issue, particularly in Rivers State. You will feed the questions I will answer. I will speak about my take in the federal. You will feed, I will answer any issue at all. Maybe from there you may form your questions. That at the administration of Rivers State today, under Governor Siminalayi Fubara, is a sham. Take it on a ratio or a scale of 1 to 10. He bought -0. he bought -0. In other words, it is apt to say that we have relapsed to the days of primitive administration in our political history. There's nothing to show. And I challenge the governor and his handlers and his goons to show one proof, to show me just one project that he initiated, commenced, and completed in 365 days. The moment I hear and I see that, I will immediately recant. What I mean by recant is I will withdraw and then publicly, not surreptitiously, congratulate the governor. One, I'm not talking about two. One, he initiated, he midwifed, he executed, I don't know how you put it, but that he completed. In other words, from beginning, from the point A to point Z, that particular project is courtesy of Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State. Just one project. Does he compare with his other brothers? I will name particularly those who are also first-timers as he. Take a typical case of Abia State. Take a typical case of Akwa Ibom State. Take the typical case of Ebonyi State. Take a case of Anambra State. Take a case of Enugu. And let's look at the far north, Niger State. Juxtapose the achievements of these governors individually. They are first-timers like him. Because if I begin to name Sanwo-Olu and all that, they say, oh no, those are second-timers. And the ones I named now are states governed by first-timers like Siminalayi Fubara. And please, as journalists, not armchair journalists, except you condemn yourself as that. But for me, I see you as critical investigators. Please check, fact check what has happened in the states I enumerated, and then compare with what is going on in Rivers State. That is the case. So you find that the case of Rivers State is a case of mumbo jumbo. And again, I asked a question. I asked the governor this question. Did he say he was celebrating 365 days in office? Then he was the one how many months ago, how many days ago, that said that he had only been in government for 4 months. So what contradiction is that? Hello? What contradiction? Isn't that a contradiction, a sharp one in terms? That the governor and his handlers had planned out activities to mark his 365 days in office. And I'm saying here categorically, and I stand to be corrected, and that if I'm corrected with facts and figures, that I will recant, I will vacillate, and pander to his side. That one project clearly was initiated, followed up, and finally completed and commissioned by Governor Siminalayi Fubara. In other words, I want any project unique to him, any project that he can franchise to himself. One, not the appropriation of a project or projects of the former government. Yes, government is a continuum. Again, he rose on the planks of continuity and consolidation. And so it's also not unexpected. But the danger in what he is doing is that you don't even accord 1% credit. In writing, they call it plagiarism. You leave somebody's work, intellectual property. You lift that, and you don't put a quote, beginning and ending. And in fact, if you have an idea, credit it to the source, then the law says that you are guilty of plagiarism. So, in other words, Siminalayi Fubara is a plagiarist. Okay? So, and I said to you again that he should compare what he has achieved in 4 months, because he said he has been in government for 4 months. But he set up a committee to set up programs for the mark is 365 days. Please, is 4 months 365 days?
No.
So we're in trouble in Rivers State. It's an era of horror, stagnation. And all the other vices that anybody else can think of. In Rivers State, under Siminalayi Fubara, security is suspect. In Rivers State, under Siminalayi Fubara, companies are leaving in droves. Industries are closing down because of the fear of the unknown. The achievement of Governor Fubara, known to me, is the fact that he has traversed 23 local government areas of Rivers State in what he dubbed Thanksgiving for Supreme Court victory. That is his own achievement. That's all. Now, you would have asked, if I knew about this particular achievement, why did I say 1? That is not achievement in concrete terms. It amounts to nothing other than frivolities and profligacies, throwing away of Rivers funds. And I've said many times, and nobody had contradicted me, that any of those Thanksgiving services or programs, because I never saw them worship, got a minimum of 150 million naira. Please times that by 23. That has not been controverted. I keep saying it, and I'm saying it again. So, is that tangible achievement that the government is voted for? So how then will anybody imagine that I, Chief Tony Okocha, Tony Chidugam Okocha, a knight of the Order of St. Christopher, an old knight for that matter, Distinguished Service Star of Rivers State, the second highest title in Rivers State, a Justice of the Peace of 25 years standing, will stand up to grandstand, to be in the bag of people who show vagaries, to begin to love what I hate. That is not my training. I'm not primed for that. For me, it's arrant nonsense. And I condemn it, and it's condemnable. I'd like to stop here and then take questions from you. All right?
An administration that awarded for 3 projects only, 3 projects, 501 billion naira in 1 year. How can such action also qualify for 0. Then the challenge is true, sir. That can anybody name the one started, prosecuted, and commissioned? I remember when the president they said, I didn't go and see the road. So from El-rufai to cut off from One, this road, this bad road, to cut it and get to Eleme at 6.4 billion. He said, he claimed that Eleme was where he started his life, that he started it, he completed, he claimed. So I just want to mention the one I hear, while I say, how can one action, how can 501 billion represent 0 in your mathematical writing, sir? Thank you.
Let me answer him immediately, please. Just be patient. Yeah?
Okay, sir.
Just be patient. Let's not rush, please, gentlemen. Let's be patient. I intend to take all the questions. Bring 500, we'll take. Now, my dear elder, the governor of Rivers State runs the budget, runs the state without the budget. So, do you want me to justify illegality? 500 and something billion? How did he get the empowerment? From where? Are those projects contained in the budget? And where's the budget, please, for crying out loud? So that is a condemnation, total condemnation of the issue you have raised. The issue of Eleme, what's the name now? Eleme Road was a low-hanging fruit. It is the same as a government secondary school Eneka, where the former governor had completed 97% and was waiting for his successor, who ordinarily you and I know at that point was his son, to just come, get cleaners to clean up the place and commission and take the credit. Everything, including the Unity Road. I will give you this brief. That's why I want you to be quiet, to be silent, to be patient, so that you take from your own perspectives. Okay? Including the Unity Road, was it a brainchild of the governor of Rivers State, Governor Fubara? The answer is capital N-O. No. Unity Road was conceptualized in passing under the administration of Governor Peter Odili. An attempt to it was narrowly made by Rotimichi Bigamechi in his first tenure. Of course, in his second tenure, I have been drafted in as chief of staff. And a very strong member of the State Executive Council. And I recall that one of those days in council, we rose from the council for the reason of going to see where the ring road will start. Somewhere inside the, I don't know what people call them, that Jamanzi or something. Yeah. And I recall that we got to a particular place where the project was to start. There is a Catholic church standing there, and the governor invited the Reverend Father and said, Father, you know he's a pious Christian, he's a Papa Knight. So it sounded absurd when he invited the Reverend Father to say to him that the Unity Road that is being contemplated was going to pass here and that this church will go down. The man almost melted. Unfortunately, because of dearth of funds, you all know what happened at the point in our history. How the economies of the state, of federal and state and local government dwindled. It's not in the case where people are taking 28 billion and all that. We were taking less than 6 billion. Payment of worker salary was a problem at that point. So who would even imagine that? And he dropped it. Governor Wike, former, came, redesigned the Unity Road thing, Because for every one of you and us, whether you like it or hate it, that Unity Road, upon completion, is going to be a landmark. So no government agreed to drop it completely. It's not like the monorail. Unity Road is not like... Road is not like the monorail. So it's a project that everybody will like, every living being.
So are you referring to Ring Road or Unity Road? It's like
Ring Road, sorry, please. Ring Road, I'm very sorry, please. Should I take it over again? For the record, so. Okay. So the Ring Road, I mean. Now, I said the Ring Road was redesigned under Governor Wike. And the flag off, he redesigned and said to his successor, do this and write your name in gold. Don't forget that from ab initio, the contemplation of former Governor Wike would have been that his successor will also do 8 years. Is that in contention? So anything that will make him thrive, anything that will make him excel, he was doing. So that file was handed over to the governor. Now, if we haven't forgotten, it's not too long ago, the man who flagged up that project was Eze-Nwoyeso Wike. No. So, Eleme, I was summarizing. The Eleme Road, brainchild of former governor. And look at the completion. We are told that immediately that road was commissioned, there was a rainfall, and that washed off the charcoal they poured on the road. Did you not hear it, pressmen? The charcoal that was poured on the road completely washed off. Will you compare that to what His Excellency Alex Oti is doing in Abia State? I can tell you that Abia State and Cross River State are the lowest rung in terms of how much money accrues to the states. But have they gone into extinction? Are they not performing? River State says they have the governor's voice. I don't know whether it has reached 30 billion now that they get every month in his voice and words. Internally generated. I didn't say that that's what he said that that's what they generate. River State takes home some months second, in some months third position in revenue sharing from FAC. Aggregate all of this together. Does it translate to physical infrastructure? Does it translate to even human capital infrastructure? When as a governor, a sitting governor, I sit down here and I have plenty money coming from the center and I deploy those monies to pay salaries and promote workers, do you really need to count that as an achievement? You don't have to. And you recall as a lot of people have said, oh, during Wike's period, I don't speak for him, but I'm speaking facts. During Wike's period, there were no promotions, there was no this. How? The sitting governor is a testimony of promotion in the state. He was a staff of Ministry of Finance. I'm not even sure that, okay, maybe he was an assistant director. The former governor promoted him to director, finance and administration, and brought him to government house. Is that not promotion?
It is.
Within few months, he was also promoted to permanent secretary. Is that not promotion? Is he coming from private sector? Is it not public sector? A few months later, he was promoted to accountant general. Isn't that promotion?
Yes.
So why would anybody, including the governor himself, pride himself as leading promotion in River State? Why and how?
He was about one person or about.
No, I'm calling the name, a particular name that you know. If I bring my mother at home, my late mother now at home, and I tell you that the governor promoted her, you will say, you won't even know the person. I'm talking about the person you know. And I can go on and 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 on. You're aware that permanent secretaries were sworn in. Were they permanent secretaries before they now reintroduce them? So, let me take another question.
Okay, sir. Excuse me, sir.
I met you. Yes.
Wait, he has named somebody.
From that background, do you still have a justification to rate the governor? You said 1 to 10, to rate him 0, after he had religiously continued the project of his predecessor, knowing that because of the rift that was in the state, he could have as well abandoned them and begin to initiate his own projects. That's my question, sir. Thank you.
I'll answer you. An addendum.
The governor moves forward.
An addendum.
Yes, for me. An addendum.
Okay.
Yeah.
An addition, that's what he's saying.
The governor has just said, the governor said, that was yesterday, he said that part of the problem he has is sabotage. Can you just respond to that?
Okay, Emeka, right? I'd like to answer you. I'd like to begin with you. I don't know if you recall or if you remember that at any time else, other than that, a few other months to justify his failure. I don't know if you remember that the governor has said to Rivers people that he inherited debts. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
He never said so.
She said
That what? I said how many days ago?
Oh, this was
My friend, I'm following the state. I'm here. I said, how many days ago? Especially, and I said, I couched it this way. I said, up until he was looking for reasons why he failed, just like a man sinking in the river and clutching on a straw. He never mentioned. When it was all roses, did he? Can you compare that to what is happening in Kaduna? Where even the governor, he can no longer stomach. In fact, from the very first day the file was handed over to him by the former governor, El-rufai, he started murmuring. Because the state will everly be immersed in abysmal oblivion. There's no way that state will survive. Given the chunk of money borrowed, and the kind of the projects that are not paid for, and the heat. I pray for that man that every day that he does not run away. I have been in Kaduna. Kaduna used to be some kind of a tourist center within the north. Okay? So, the issue of debt, as a document that I need to give to you, is that we agree that government is a continuum. There's no doubt, nothing bad about that. But when you will continue a project and appropriate that project to yourself, say for instance, the governor went to commission internal roads in Egbeda. I'm doing a documentary, don't worry. So that this documentary will match side by side what the governor said, what the case is, and my own middleman position on the matter. It will be out by next week. I'm looking for money. People should look for the money for me so that I'll play them play the complimentary on all television stations. Sorry, the radio people are not going to enjoy that one. Now, in Ebeda, that project was awarded by Governor Wike. And if you listen to the jabs, he did that and was telling the people, it was like, you take this and give me this. He was telling them, I'm going to give you this. You will in turn give me your votes. He awarded Ebeda eternal roads, and the whole place erupted in joy and happiness. And a job of 3.8 billion, he had paid 3.5 billion. And it was awarded to Monia Construction Company, MCC. And the governor goes to commission. Well, the project was ongoing when Wike left. Because they had paid substantial amounts, almost defrayed everything. The project continued. The governor went there recently to commission the project without recourse to the man who started it. And I said to you, ask you a question, what is plagiarism, please?
So it's the issue about giving credit to who initiated the project or completing the project?
No, they go pari passu. Wike said, let me tell you, a minister of Federal Capital, in his presentation to Mr. President on the light rail project in Abuja, said to Mr. President, we didn't start this project. Yes. What you are coming here to do today is to flag off the commercial operation. Because if you had a train and you don't have stations, there were no roads to access the train. Is it not like dormant, what they call this thing that matter? Anything that has weight and occupies space, then is useless. Now, his government, he said the former government, and he was even quoting the amount of money that was involved. And said, Mr. President, what you are coming to commission is the commercial, the flag up is the commercial operation. And it was upon that Mr. President was invited to ride on the train. So they all go in pari passu. When you want to dismember a person who had done a thing, and you want to appropriate it and own it up to yourself, people can call many names. It could be said that you just stole somebody's project.
So, sir, the problem is not that the governor has not done anything, but it's just that he has not given credit to the man who initiated it.
No, that I said you are still asking me the same thing. And listen, my dear friend, I said to you that if the governor is able, or his managers, are able to show me, to tell Nigerians one project of note that he initiated, he followed up and completed and commissioned within 365 days, that I will apologize. That apology, that was ill ascribed to me, I will come openly to apologize to him and congratulate him. Am I sounding Greek? That, comes to power and goes back to see, because they are public funds. But I also doubt why, I read that he said he was not going to do monorail. Why?
It's because of the quantum of money.
Oh, really? So now you agree with me that these ones are low-hanging fruits?
Yes.
You agree?
Yes, yes.
That's what I'm saying. Will you justify the rating of 0?
It is my, it is,
of 1 to 10, like you said?
I have said so, it is my rating. first and foremost is that to the extent that he operates the government without a budget, everything he's doing is nonsensical and rubbish.
Everything.
Everything.
Thank you.
I'm not, yeah, I'm usually not given to self-idolation, self-praise, self-worship. But I've been taught by my friend Uche Okoro to learn how to blow my trumpet. And I think I see virtue in it. I can say boldly, and I want anybody to challenge me. I've been hearing rep, NDDC rep. In my whole, NDDC has been there since 2000. And we have always had rep one way or the other. No one, none can stand before me or even behind me or beneath me to say that I don't know how many years or months they spent that they had anything more than what in the last 5 months I have achieved, and I'm still achieving. You want me to name them? When I got to office, was the scholarship we gave scholarship to largely indigents from the kindergarten to the University of Port Harcourt. Some of you who journeyed along with me. We did. We gave learning and teaching materials to schools. We bought JAM forms for students that cannot afford, that their parents can't afford. I can't remember the figure, but I'm not used to all of those. For me, they are not even supposed to be mentioned. But I have a staff who compiled all that. And as we speak, he is busy collating the results of those who candidated courtesy of us in JAM. Because I said, collate and let's see how they perform so that we justify the scholarship we give. So if you pass, I'm not going to direct the exam for you. If you pass, we will help you finish your education. Is there. We have done the other problem, or rather issue we handled was the life saving. In other words, it was life threatening on one hand, and we have to go to save. People are aware of the notorious Soku saga, Soku and cholera saga. Are you not aware? I say it's saga because the state government tried to make watering the issue because they were not sensitive to the plight of the people, and they felt that they had taken the center stage and were pull the rug off their feet. Please go to Soku and ask them what happened there. We saved the lives of over 2,000 persons. Whilst I was being received, because I had to go there to confirm myself that there was actually a medical emergency in the place. And whilst they were receiving me, the spokesperson of that community went to History Lane to tell us that on the 14th of February, a day a lot of you enjoy your, what you call Valentine, 1971, that cholera struck in Soku, killing 5 persons, including their paramount ruler. The paramount ruler of Soku was one of the casualties on that particular day. And they have had it intermittently. And that he was thankful to me, rather to NDDC, not me, on behalf of the community for the intervention. Because they wrote to us, I'm not a soothsayer, I'm not a magician yet. Maybe I'll be one tomorrow. Okay, I would like to be a prophet. Where's my mommy Gio?
She's here.
I'd like to be a prophet so that I can prophesy. So I couldn't have sat in my office to know that the people were dying. But you know what? We got to the place and found out that the people, God likes them. Otherwise, the kind of water they drink, polluted. I don't know whether you know that. So cool. Let me not exaggerate. That community can be rated as number 3 or 4 in Rivers State. Single community that has the largest mineral deposit in Rivers State. I can tell you that for free. So, in spite of all that, they now are victims of the nauseous pollutants and the terrible water. When we went there, WHO people, their representative came, took samples of the kind of water. Listen, okay, I'll get there. Took samples of the kind of water that these people drink. One of the doctors that we deployed to Sokun to help in the emergency called after 3 days to say, Honorable Commissioner, sir, that her face, na woman, has been taken over by pimples. I don't know the other English name to call pimples. Is there any other English name? Rashes, maybe. And I said, why? He said it's bad water that she was bathing with. I said, just bathing for 3 days. How about you who drink it? Lo and behold, when I got to the place, I actually saw that lady with rashes on her face. Now, we cured that. People had written to us to thank NDDC. We told them that to mitigate, or to see how we can ameliorate their suffering, their difficulties, that we are going to provide them palliatives. You ask this question, I hope you're following.
Yes, sure.
And gentlemen of the press, a lot of you followed me to Sokun, where we made presentations of food items, household items, and so forth and so on. It was a carnival of a sort. It was carnival of a sort. For me, it was not over, because you have not addressed the root cause, the remote cause of a problem. And the remote cause is the issue of bad water. So as we speak, maybe I'll give you pictures. I told you that we're going to do documentary. You will see what is going on right now in Sokun in the deliberate bid to give them 10,000 gallons of water powered by solar every day, and a bit of a reticulation. As we speak, go to Bolu community, Bolu Mibo. You will see a world-class town hall ongoing. Go to Degema. You will see a pavilion that will take not less than 2,000 people when they convene convene a meeting. Go to Eche. As we speak, you will see teachers' quarters ongoing in Umechem, are ongoing in River State. I've been commissioning. I'm looking for a day to go and commission the one in Abua, so that nobody will say I'm commissioning. No, I want to go to Abua. That one will be ready. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday, right?
Yes.
It will be ready this week. I'll go and commission with the highest standard, 8 feet. What have you? So, NDDC rep will become an elective position. People will crave. People will crave to be in that office. Have you heard of that one before? I don't hear NDPC rep before.
Okay.
The status of the
Okay, yeah, the status of the lawmakers. Okay, don't worry. The status,
Hold on, please. The inflation of
oh, contract. My dear, my friends, it may not be in my position to answer that. What I would have said is that thank God you introduced it. When the governor went to Trans-Calabari Road, he never behaved as though there was anything there before. Never. But that Trans-Calabari Road was a project that required a large heart. And that large heart was in Wike. I don't know where that document is. He had flagged up the project, executed the project to plenty amas, according to him, because the day he was inaugurated, I've reached ama this, ama that, and plenty amas. In other words, Trans-Calabari Road construction is not peculiar, it's not akin to Siminalaye Fubara. And so it means, of course, that there is a portion of it in the budget. But is he running the budget? Where does he derive the power to mention figures by way of award of road? Omoko, Ahoda East, Omoko expansion was Wike's project, please. I say I'm doing a documentary, or maybe I'll bring from my phone and begin to show you so that you see. Now, at least before the documentary. It's Wike's project. If the governor had come to now add money to it, so be it. Egbeda Road, the Egbeda people, I saw my friend Oma. Oma and I worked with Chief Eric of blessed memory. I saw Oma reading the address of the community. At the twilight of that address, he pleaded with the governor that the road, the kilometer should be extended to cover some other areas, and the community gave the government very wide expanse of land. And the governor in his response said, okay, I add to that. That is, he's adding. He had not even flagged it off. Let alone commissioning it, completing it and commissioning. These are the points we're making. Emeka